Bumblebee? Have you been eating your vegetables?
Ratchet. Yeah, I think.
You gotta eat your vegetables, Bumblebee. You gotta eat them. You wanna be big and strong like Optimus. How do you think he got big?
Yeah! Let's get them Decepticons! You think you can take me, bro? Yeah! I'm gonna say he's been juicing. Optimus Prime that's so tall and has a gimmick that's so distracting that no collector wants it? Enter the Beast Hunters! Ultimate Optimus Prime. And here is Optimus Prime in Assault mode, and this is the retail version and not the San Diego Comic-Con repackaged version. Yes, the only difference is that one was made for the Thrilling 30 and the package. Pretty much you get the same exact toy, no different in paint scheme, it's the same thing. The retail version usually goes for around $60 to $80. Thank God I got this for $30. Ultimate Optimus Prime transforms into this armored truck. Sorry, let me correct that. Ultimate Optimus Prime transforms into this armored truck with fail in the back. Yeah, I don't like this. The arms and the legs are right there. At least with the Voyager class version, the wings cover at least some of it. If you plug on the weapons on this side, you get the Meat Cleaver to cover some of that up, and that actually looks good. But on this side, you get a little shield that doesn't cover some of it. With that said, I'm not going to really argue with that because I don't think this toy is meant to be accurate. I mean, it's not even in scale, but it's meant to be more of a plaything, and one of those factors is this. While this giant ring of fire is not the prettiest thing on this toy, it is a lot of fun. Basically what you do is you push the button on the top here and the missile fires off. But as you can see, there's 4 other missiles. So what do? You turn the handle, and you turn it back, and then you can start firing off a bunch of missiles. Optimus Prime's got missiles for days! Again, I know it's not the prettiest thing, but it's a lot of fun. And I do appreciate, and I just found this out, but you can see the dragon heads on the top here. They're actually all different molds. They are not the same. Now, these two are meant to attack each other and fight each other as toys. As far as robot mode goes, it doesn't really work out. As far as alt mode goes, yeah, I could totally see this happening. And let's compare it to the Voyager Optimus Prime. I think it's Voyager. It looks deluxe to me when I put this thing next to this thing and it's just there. The main reason why this Optimus Prime looks so much smaller by comparison with this is because they tried to make this alt mode a lot more taller than it really should be. But I gotta say, I do find it funny putting these two next to each other. While it isn't a major gripe, and at least they painted it in, I don't see these headlights really helping anything at all. If you push the grill in far enough, you can also get this gimmick. It's a light-up feature that you can barely see. Yay, thanks for lighting. I turned off all the lights so you can see that. Look at that glow! Kinda wish these side windows were transparent. I really don't appreciate the obnoxious gray on the top. I know I've complained enough about the kibble in the back, but I'm just gonna take out that shield so you can get a good look at all the kibble right there. With that said, let's go ahead and transform the thing. Optimus Prime's transformation is very basic and simple. However, there's a couple of tabs on the legs that connect to the rims around the tires. That is very hard to deal with. Also, because of the sheer mass of the toy, it gets a little tricky. So here is Optimus Prime in his robot mode, and I can tell you this straight up front, it reminds me exactly of the Voyager Optimus Prime, except a different gimmick and different weapons and a little bit of a different paint scheme. Take a look at this figure. If you like the look of the Voyager Optimus Prime, then you'll definitely like the look of this, except for, you know, giant kibble backpack. His articulation remains the same as the Voyager, except the feet are stationary, which some people might not like. In fact, a lot of people might not like. But the good thing about the stationary feet is he won't collapse as easily. Maybe. There's little tabs right here that connect into these little holes, and they're not the tightest thing. So you move around the arm, and they'll probably start to wiggle out. Let's talk about the gimmick for a while. You can do the same thing that you were doing in alt mode, or as an optional thing, the whole entire gimmick is now hooked up to the chest, which means you can pull down the chest and the whole thing will start to rotate, and you can fire off the missiles one by one. With that, the chest will light up and the eyes will light up too. So much going on. Turn off the lights so you guys can get a better look at that. Whoa! Oh! He's got the Beast Hunter power! If you're too quick on this, sometimes it will get jammed, so that's unfortunate. But just wiggle it around or, you know, do something with the handle and you should get it to work just fine. While a lot of people don't like the gimmick, I am fond of how everything works and how the chest just connects to everything. Something that I don't like, though, is that on the first day I messed up the gimmick to the point where I had to take this whole thing apart and fix it. And it wasn't an easy feat because I had to constantly take this apart and put it back together because something was wrong. Taking a look at the weapons, once again we have the giant meat cleaver and the meat cleaver can be plugged into the hand. You also get the shield, which has a nice dragon shape. Unfortunately it has no paint, but I don't care, it looks good. You could slide that into the hand using the handle, or you could plug it to the side. I personally use the handle. Well, the shield is alright. I love that. I mean, just look at how impressive the is. I mean, good God, I would not like to fight anyone who has a giant... It's something that looks like it's from Final Fantasy. Serious comparison time! Here is Beast Fire Predaking, and the scale doesn't seem to work with these two. Now, I know Optimus Prime is meant to be this massive thing, but if these toys are meant to fight with each other, I would have liked it if Optimus Prime was about the same size as Predaking. Also wanted to take a look at the size compared to a Viacon. God, he just dwarfs him. And my masterpiece Sideswipe. It looks like a scout now. And last but not least for scale, here is Optimus Prime. Now, obviously, I would recommend this over this because of the scale and the wings. It just looks so much better. But there's something I don't like about both of them. I still stand and say that head is not that great. I am not a huge fan of it. Looking at it up close, it's not as bad, and it does have more paint detail than the Voyager. But his face just looks so squished in, and I don't like it. Would have preferred a mouth plate, but, just not liking it. I'm not a fan. And again, for size comparison, here is a can of Diet Cherry 7-Up. While the Voyager has silver over here, this one has a little bit of a splash of red due to transformation, and I really like that. Also, the paint on the waist is done so much better. While his feet are hollow, the legs are filled out by the tires, so that's pretty cool. You can move the shoulders out of the way. Whee! I should mention that all the missiles are different except for maybe these two, but I think they're a little bit different. They pretty much have the same design element. It's a fire blast, but I think they're molded differently. Wow, I'm impressed by that butter knife. I mean, come on, dude, that's Final Fantasy as fuck, dude! I recommend it just for that! And for more comparisons, here's my Autobot belt buckle. Where'd my pants go? What's with that smirk? Wait, you know something I don't know? You fucking mocking me? Also, it barely has wrist articulation. I don't know why. Maybe it can move further than that and I'm just not pushing its limits, but I don't want to because I feel like I'm gonna break it. I know so many people are saying this is the worst Optimus Prime we've ever gotten from Beast Hunters, and it's total crap, but do I agree with that? Let's go to my overall review. So overall, do I highly recommend the Beast Hunter's Ultimate Optimus Prime? I would say, if you can get it on a good price. I say $30 is actually kind of worth the price on this guy. I mean, you get an awesome weapon. The figure is not really that bad if you like the Voyager Optimus Prime. This is pretty much an oversized version of that. And the gimmick is actually a lot of fun to play around. So if you want a toy that's, well, a toy, then yeah, in some way I'd recommend it. But I think there's better toys out there that you can get, especially in this size and at that price. Anyways, that is pretty much it. I thank you guys for watching. I'm the Canadian Reviewer. I'm going to eat some bacon.